Hello everyone, I'm Anthony. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Whatever time it is, I hope you're ready for this lesson. Today we're doing Unit 42 from the Advanced Course C1. We're going to look a lot at the perfect sentences, perfect structures. And so those tend to be a little difficult sometimes. Let's start with the phonetics. You should be familiar with this. We will read from the phonetics reading, the phonetics script, very slowly, exaggerated, and then we will do the same from the English column in a more natural way. This is good work. It's helping you with the pronunciation. You'll perfect your pronunciation or improve. You'll also help to codify those structures in your head. Let's begin. I will read from the phonetics and you repeat, okay? Very slowly. My friend enjoyed the party. My friend enjoyed the party. The student studies in the library. The student studies in the library. We appreciated your help in the matter. We appreciated your help in the matter. We went to the zoo in the afternoon. We went to the zoo in the afternoon. Does he live in Chicago? Does he live in Chicago? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Where does he live? Where does he live? I'm not completely sure. I'm not completely sure, but I believe in Detroit. But I believe in Detroit. Will she be living there? Will she be living there? Where will she be living? Where will she be living? Who lives there? Who lives there? How are things? How are things? Pretty terrible, actually. Pretty terrible, actually. My car won't start. My car won't start. And my clients won't pay. And my clients won't pay. We're going to have to shut the window. We're going to have to shut the window. To keep out the mosquitoes. To keep out the mosquitoes. I'm afraid we won't be able. I'm afraid we won't be able to come on Monday. To come on Monday. When's the deadline? When's the deadline? Everything will have to be ready. Everything will have to be ready by the end of August. By the end of August, all the information you need, is in these folders. Brainstorming is an excellent way. Of finding creative solutions. Okay, that's the first part, and I just wanted to remind you that you can click on the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell. That way you'll get all of the broadcasts, all of the notifications that will come from this channel, and you won't miss anything. Okay, let's go on to the second part. David graduates in June. Nevertheless, I won't see you till July. Consequently, by the time I see you, let's just do that again. Sorry. Basta. Consequently, by the time I see you, David will have already graduated. In March, Michael will be living in Shanghai. He'll have been living there for 2 months. By the time the company transfers. When Professor Jones retires next month, he'll have taught for 45 years. When Professor Lee retires next month, she'll have been teaching for 3 years. The baby woke up when the phone rang. After she graduates, she'll get a job. After he'd graduated, he got a job. After he graduated, he got a job. When I arrived, he was talking to Julia. When I arrived, he was talking to Julia. By the time I got there, he had already left. As soon as I see him tomorrow, I'll ask him. As I was walking home, it began to rain. As I was walking home, it began to rain. I haven't seen him since he left this morning. I've known Mark ever since I was a child. We stayed there until we finished our work. As soon as it stops raining, we'll leave. I'll never speak to him again. As long as I live. Whenever I see Alex, I say hello. The first time I visited Milan, I went to an opera. The next time I go to St. Petersburg, I'm going to see a ballet. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Give him an inch and he'll take a mile. Okay, sorry about that interruption. Anyway, we have the first part. You practice this. You can practice it again and again and again. It will be magical, the way that it helps you remember the structure and the order of the words. And you can just easily modify those sentences to your own purpose while you're speaking. Okay, if you don't understand, there's a list of the sentences, the phrases in the description. You can just copy and paste if you're not sure about the meaning of something like that. There are also some other links in there that you can look at. Let's look at the grammar now. The grammar is quite intensive today. We're going to see a lot. Unit 42 grammar. This is just an introduction to the perfect tenses. We have the form have plus the past participle. The meaning is the perfect tenses give all the idea that there is an action or situation that is linked to a time or an event. That's a key word. There's linked. Some people say that it's continues, but I think that's not a good description, because you have the difference between the perfect simple and the perfect continuous that sometimes is different. Okay, let's look at the present perfect intro. Here you have the past, we have a question mark, sometime, we don't know, and then the present, and then the future. So Tom has already eaten. Tom finished eating sometime before now. The exact time of the action is not important, but the action is linked to the present with already. Okay, now we don't really need already. You could also say Tom has eaten. Who's eaten? Tom has eaten. But already gives the idea. In the past, we have the question, we have an event, and then we have now. Okay, we're not going to talk about the future. The first part is eat, and the second part is arrive. Tom had already eaten when his friend arrived. Okay, so first, Tom finished eating. Later, his friend arrived. The action of eating was completely finished before another time in the past, but it is linked to the action of arriving. Tom had already eaten. That action is finished when I arrive, when his friend arrived. The future perfect, we have the past, we have now, we have a question, eat, and another event, arrive. So see, Tom will have already eaten, or will already have eaten when his friend arrives. First, Tom will arrive. First, Tom will finish eating, and then his friend will arrive. The action of eating will be completely finished before another time in the future, but it is linked to the action of arriving. So you see that there is something common here with all of the perfect tenses. Okay, let's look at the progressive. The present perfect progressive. Okay, or the perfect progressives in general. We have plus been, and then the verb is in the present participle with the ing. So the perfect progressive tenses give the idea that one event is in progress, and I have a symbol here to show you that that action is in progress immediately before, up to, or until another time or event. These sentences are used to express the duration of the first event, not exactly when it happened. So let's look at the present perfect. All right, we have the past. We have 2 hours. This space is 2 hours. And then you see that this action is still in progress. Okay, it's happening now. And then it's in the future. So the example is Tom has been studying for 2 hours. So the action is in progress, and I'm telling you 2 hours. Studying. When, before now, up to now. How long for 2 hours? 2 hours at the time that I speak, right? At the time that I speak. The action began in the past, still in progress, but the tense is used to give the duration of the action up to now. Okay, so this is happening now, and I'm telling you for 2 hours this has been happening. Past perfect. We have begin study in the past. We have 2 hours. All of this is 2 hours, and it comes to another point, which is come. And here we also have this arrow that is showing you that the action is in progress, okay, at the time that you come. Okay, Tom had been studying for 2 hours before his friend came. So began study, past 2 hours, then the friend comes. So the event was in progress when, before another event, come in the past. How long? For 2 hours. In other words, the action began in the past and was still in progress at the time of the second action. So the tense is used to give the duration of the action up to another action in the past. The future perfect progressive, we have the past, we have now, we have 2 hours. Sorry, I begin studying and then I arrive. That's another action that is in progress at the time I speak. So Tom will have been studying for 2 hours by the time his friend arrives. The action will be in progress, studying, when, before another event, his friend arrives in the future. How long? For 2 hours. In other words, the action will begin in the future and will still be up in progress at the time of a second action, the arriving. So the tense is used to give a duration of the action up to another action in the future. Now, it is possible that this action of studying can be here in the past. It's possible because he will have been studying for 2 hours. Maybe this new time segment is 2 hours now. It's not from 2 hours from the now, from the present, but 2 hours including the present. So it's complicated. Let's look at these charts. Okay, you have Tom studies every day. That's a simple present. The present progressive, Tom is studying right now, action in progress. Simple past, Tom studied last night. We have a point in the past. No link to the present. Tom was studying when they came. Okay, this is the past progressive. He was studying at the moment they came. So I need a precise indicator of the past and then an action in progress. Simple future, Tom will study tomorrow. Simply, it's in the future. No link, nothing to do with the present. Future progressive, Tom will be studying when you come. So we have an action in the future that is in progress at the time of another action or event, when you come. We have the present perfect. Tom has already studied chapter 1. You see that there are 2 X's here because I have one thing he started studying and one thing now. They are linked. Somehow they are linked, even if it's just not the fact that one is concluded or not, or that one doesn't know when. Present perfect progressive, Tom has been studying for 2 hours. Now I have the action in progress at the time of speaking. It started 2 hours ago, so action in progress. Past perfect, we have 2 events in the past. Tom had already studied chapter 1 before he began studying chapter 2. So this first action is completely finished before the second action. Okay. Past perfect progressive, Tom had been studying for 2 hours before his friends came. Here we have, again, 2 actions in the past. The first action starts studying, and then the second action, his friends come, and he is doing that action at the moment that they come. So it's in progress. The future perfect, you have 2 events in the future. Tom will have already studied chapter 4 before he studies chapter 5. We really don't know when these 2 actions happen, but they are linked. One is before the other. The future perfect, we have the 2 actions or events. Tom will have been studying for 2 hours by the time that his roommate gets home, so he starts studying in the future. He's studying at the moment that his roommate gets home. All right, let's go back and look at the present perfect a little closer. The present perfect expresses the idea that something happened or never happened before now at an unspecific time in the past. The exact time is not important. If there is a specific mention of time, the simple past is used. This is rule number 1. Get it into your head. If you use the past, if you tell me when, then it's simple past. They moved into an apartment last month. Last month tells me exactly when it happened, so it has to be in the past. They have moved into a new apartment. You see, I'm not telling you when. It's not important when. They just have moved. This is an experience. Notice the examples. The adverbs ever, never, already, yet, still, and just are frequently used with the present perfect. They represent examples of unspecific time. A. Have you ever visited Mexico? B. I've never seen the snow. C. I have already seen that movie. D. Jack hasn't seen it yet. E. Anne started a letter to her parents last week, but she still hasn't finished it. And F. Alex feels bad. He's just heard some bad news. So he has just heard. She still hasn't finished. Hasn't seen it yet. That's a negative, so we're using yet. I have seen it already. That's positive, so we use already. The present perfect also expresses the repetition of an activity before now. The exact time of each repetition is not important, so notice in G, so far is frequently used with the present perfect. We have had 4 tests so far this semester. So far tells you that it is up until the present. So it's linked to the present. H, I have written a letter to my wife every day for the last 2 weeks. I have written, okay, every day for the last 2 weeks is a repetition. E, I've already met many people since I came here in June. Repetition. I have flown in a plane many times. I'm not interested to know when or to express when. The present perfect, when used with for or since, also expresses a situation that began in the past and continues to the present. In the examples, notice the difference between since and for. Since is a particular time, for is a duration. Since, point, for, period. K, I have been here since 7 o'clock, period, since. L, we have been here for 2 weeks, period, for. M, I have had the same pair of shoes for 3 years. N, I have liked cowboy movies ever since I was a child. A new subject and verb can come after since. You see, I'm constructing a new sentence here, a new phrase with a subject and a verb, but it's after since. O, I've known him for many years. Okay, you can do exercises 1, 2, and 3 if you have access to that. Present perfect progressive. This tense is used to indicate the duration of an activity that began in the past, continues to the present. When the tense has this meaning, it is used with time words for, since, all morning, all day, all week. Right now I'm sitting at my desk. A, I've been sitting here since 7 o'clock. B, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. C, you have been studying for 5 straight hours. Why don't you take a break? D, it has been raining all day. It is still raining now. Okay, actions are in progress at the time I'm speaking. I'm giving you the duration. Reminder, verbs with stative meanings are not used in the progressive. The present perfect, not the present perfect progressive, is used with stative verbs to describe the duration of a state rather than an activity that began in the past and continues to the present. I have known Alex since he was a child. We do not say I have been knowing Alex because know is stative. When the verb is used without any specific mention of time, it expresses a general activity in progress recently, lately. I've been thinking about changing my major. Okay, so I've been thinking. This is something that is continuing. It's there's no mention of time. It's a general activity in progress. H, all of the students have been studying hard. Final exams start next week. Have been studying hard. That's a progressive idea. My back hurts, so I've been sleeping on the floor lately. The bed is too soft. Okay, I have been sleeping. This is, maybe I'm not sleeping now. Well, if I'm speaking, I'm not sleeping. So it's just a repetitive action maybe, or it's a verb that has a kind of a long-term idea. With certain verbs, notably live, work, teach, but also study, read, there is little or no difference in the meaning between the two tenses when since or for is used. J. I have lived here since 1995. I've been living here since 1995. Basically the same. K. He has worked at the same store for 10 years. He has been working at the same store for 10 years. If you use since or for, it really doesn't make any difference. Past perfect. The past perfect expresses an activity that was completed before another activity or time in the past. Sam had already left by the time Anne got there. Okay, Anne got there, Sam already left. B, the thief simply walked in. Somebody had forgotten to lock the door. First had forgotten, the thief just walked in. First Sam left and got there. C, Sam had already left and got there. If either before or after is used in the sentence, the past perfect is often not necessary because the time relationship is already clear. The simple past may be used as in E and G. Note that D and E have the same meaning. F and G have the same meaning. Sam had left before Anne got there. Sam left before Anne got there. After the guests had left, I went to bed. After the guests left, I went to bed. So F and G are the same. You can do exercise 5 if you have access to that. The past perfect progressive. The past perfect progressive emphasizes the duration of an activity that was in progress before another activity or time in the past. The police had been looking for the criminal for 2 years before they caught him. Had been looking shows that had been looking. I'll just emphasize that a little bit. Or no, let's just put it in an accent, yeah. Had been looking. Eric finally came at 6 o'clock. I had been waiting for him. This is also had been waiting. I had been waiting is accented. Her hair was still wet because she had been swimming. And at the funeral, her eyes because she had been crying. That's also accented. Okay, sorry. Eric finally came at 6 o'clock. I had been waiting for him since 4:30. Okay, the tense may also express an activity in progress close to another time in the past. When Judy got home, her hair was still wet because she had been swimming. Hair was wet. I see that. She had been swimming, I can imagine. D. I went to Jane's house after the funeral. Her eyes were red because she had been crying. She wasn't crying right in front of me, but very, very soon before she was. Will and be going to. Okay, the difference between will and be going to. Going to is often pronounced gonna. The contracted form of will plus not is won't. Jack will finish his work tomorrow. Jack is going to finish his work tomorrow. Anna will not be here tomorrow. Anna won't be here tomorrow. To express a prediction, use either will or be going to when the speaker is making a prediction, a statement about something he or she thinks will be true or will occur in the future. Either will or going to be, going to is possible. There's no real difference between A and B. Jack will finish his work. Jack is going to finish his work. There's no difference in C and D. According to the weather report, it will be cloudy tomorrow. According to the weather report, it's going to be cloudy tomorrow. C, be careful, you'll hurt yourself. Watch out, you're going to hurt yourself. To express a prior plan, in other words, a future intention, use only be going to. When the speaker is expressing a prior plan, something the speaker intends to do in the future because in the past he or she has made a plan or a decision to do it, only be going is used. Okay, we'll see the example E. Speaker B has made a prior plan. Last week she decided to paint her bedroom. She intends to paint it tomorrow. Why did you buy this paint? I'm going to paint my bedroom tomorrow. So she intends to paint it. She has an intention. She's already got the paint. In F, I talked to Bob yesterday. He was tired of taking the bus to work. He's going to buy a car. That's what he told me. So Bob intends to buy a car. He made the decision in the past, and he plans to act on this decision in the future. Will is not appropriate in these examples. I will paint my bedroom tomorrow is a little bit strange. Strange because we express willingness or spontaneousness with will. Look at G. The phone's ringing. I'll get it. In this sentence, B is saying, I'm willing, I'm happy to get the phone. He is not making a prediction. He has not made a prior plan to answer the phone. He is volunteering to answer the phone and uses will to show his willingness. In H, I don't understand this problem. Ask your teacher about it. She'll help you. In this example, the speaker B feels sure about this teacher's willingness to help. Be going is not appropriate in these cases. The phone's ringing. I'll be going to get it. Ask your teacher. She'll be going to help you. Those are not. She'll be going to help you. Yeah, it's not appropriate. She will. She is going to help you. Situation 1. Are you busy this evening? B. Yes, I'm going to meet Jack at the library at 7. We're going to study together. In this situation, only be going to is possible. The speaker has a prior plan, so he uses be going to. Okay, so be going to, I'm going to meet. Okay, let's accent that. Are you busy this time? I'm going to eat dinner. Or I'll probably watch, or I'm probably going to watch. Okay, so are you busy this evening? Well, I haven't made any plans. I'll eat, or I'm going to eat it out, of course. And then I'll probably watch, or I'm probably going to watch TV for a little while. Situation 2, either will or going to is possible. B has not planned his evening. He's predicting his evening rather than stating prior plans. So he may use will or be going to. Do exercise 7. Okay, expressing the future in time clauses. We still have quite a bit to go. Expressing the present progressive in the simple present. Okay, the present progressive may be used to express future time when the idea of the sentence concerns a planned event or definite intention. Compare. A verb such as rain is not used in the present progressive to indicate future time because rain is not a planned event. A future meaning for the present progressive tense is indicated either by future time words in the sentence or by the context. Let's look a little closer. Present progressive. My wife has an appointment with the doctor. She's seeing Dr. North next Tuesday. Sam has already made his plans. He's leaving at noon tomorrow. C. What are you going to do this afternoon? B. After lunch, I'm meeting a friend of mine. We're going shopping. Would you like to come along? The simple present can also be used to express future time in a sentence concerning events that are on a definite schedule or timetable. These sentences usually contain future time words. Only a few verbs are used in this way. Open, close, begin, end, start, finish, arrive, leave, come, return. Okay, I read the book tomorrow. Is not really. I read the book tomorrow at 5 o'clock. You wouldn't really say that, only in a very particular way. Simple present. The museum opens at 10 tomorrow morning. Classes begin next week. F, John's plane arrives at 6:05 p.m. next Monday. So we have arrives because we know that 6:05 the plane does that. Future progressive. The future progressive expresses an activity that will be in progress at a time in the future. I will begin to study at 7. You will come at 8. I will be studying when you come. Right now I'm sitting in class. At this same time tomorrow I will be sitting in class. The progressive form of be going to is be going to be with ing. C, don't call me at 9 because I won't be home. I'm going to be studying at the library. Sometimes you see going to be, I've made a plan that's already in my schedule. Sometimes there is little or no difference between the future progressive and the simple future, especially when the future event will occur at an indefinite time in the future, as in D and D. Don't get impatient. She will be coming soon. Soon is indefinite. Don't get impatient. She'll come soon. It's a little bit different when you have a specific time, okay? Future perfect. The future perfect expresses an activity that will be completed before another time or an event in the future. Note, by the time introduces a time clause. The simple present is used in that time clause. So, A, I will graduate in June. I will see you in July. By the time I see you, I will have graduated. You see? By the time I see you. That's present. It's subject verb, but it's in the present tense, even though it is in the future. Well, it's not really in the future. It's a time reference. Okay? I will have finished my homework by the time I go out on the date tonight. I go out on the date, simple present. I will have finished. Future perfect progressive. The future perfect progressive emphasizes the duration of an activity that will be in progress before another time or event in the future. C, I will go to bed at 10 p.m. Ed will get home at midnight. At midnight, I will be sleeping. I will have been sleeping for 2 hours by the time Ed gets home. Okay, do you understand that? 10 p.m., go to bed. Midnight, Ed gets home. Midnight, I'm sleeping. I will have been sleeping 2 hours, from 10 to midnight. Sometimes the future perfect and the future perfect progressive have the same meaning, as in D and E. Also, notice the activity expressed by either of these two tenses may begin in the past. So, when Professor Jones retires next month, he will have taught for 45 years. E, when Professor Jones retires next month, he will have been teaching for 45 years. So a little difference, not much difference between these two sentences. Usually the progressive is used to emphasize a little bit more the action of the verb. Okay, well, that was a lot to digest. Go back and listen to it again. Listen to it again. Repeat those phrases again and again and again and again. Those will help you. They will lock that sequence in your brain. You will not need to translate. You will just be able to use the phrases as you know them in your mind. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you for the next time. Bye-bye.